So I spend far too much time thinking inside my head than talking to other people in real life. And lately I've been thinking whether this is normal or not, because if you could just listen to my thoughts for a single day, and you will probably think that I never stop talking. There are debates, there are arguments and memories inside my mind. There are future scenarios that will probably never happen, and talking to imaginary people that does not exist. And some days it feels like there are more people living inside my head than it is in real life. But if you know me in real life, I'm never a talkative person. In fact, the more thoughts that I have, the less I actually share. So there was a time expressing myself still felt natural, and I do not overanalyze anything before I speak. And there's a time when being vulnerable didn't feel dangerous. But eventually, the thing that you trusted somebody with become a knife that is pointing towards you. So after enough experiences like that, you learned something. You know that being known is risky, so you adapt. You become more careful when you're speaking. You stop saying certain things, you stop expressing your true feelings. And because it happens gradually, you don't even realize that you're losing it. And you call it maturity, you call it having a private life. But what if it is not what it seemed to be, but instead fear that you have? Because for a long time, I thought my strength was being silent. I thought being independent was not needing anyone else. I thought keeping everything inside and to myself is a sign of maturity. But lately, I've been wondering whether I confuse strength with distance. Because the less that I share, the safer I felt. And the safer I felt, the lonelier I became. And I could have a conversation with somebody for the whole day, laughing with them, doing work with them, but barely revealing anything about myself. So it is a strange skill that I have to be constantly present while never truly to be seen, and to participate in relationship while being emotionally invisible, and to be known by everyone but understood by no one. And eventually something strange happened, and the conversation inside your head become more real than the conversation that you have with people. Because inside your mind, nobody can misunderstood you. They cannot judge you, and they cannot betray your trust. And the problem is your mind isn't designed to hold everything like this. And when it does, the mind become very heavy, the thoughts become very dark, and the debates get louder and louder. You can replay conversation that has already ended. You can have imagination of things that you thought you should have done. And you create arguments, you create resolution, you create an entire world, but these are not existing, and they are just your fantasy. And the scary part is, from the outside you look normal, but inside your mind there is a storm going on. And there was a period of time that I thought the solution was to care less, because feeling everything was painful. I was always emotional, I became attached too quickly, and I cared too deeply. I experienced things more intensely than people around me seemed to, and for a period of time I thought it was a curse. I thought there is something wrong with me. Why couldn't I be more rational and stop caring so much and start to care less? So I tried to fix the problem by becoming less emotionally available, less vulnerable, and less affected. And I thought it was some toughness that I gained over the years. But something unexpected happened. The less pain I felt, the less joy I felt as well. And the less vulnerable that I felt, the less alive I was. Because you cannot just numb out the bad feelings. When you numb out the pain, you're numbing out the beauty as well. When you build walls to keep out the sadness, you also keep out the beauty. When you shut out disappointment, you also shut out the connections. And when you stop allowing yourself to love, you also stop allowing yourself to live. And that's when I realized maybe the ability to feel everything so deeply wasn't a curse, but instead they were a gift. Maybe the years that I spent trying to fix this problem is what makes life beautiful, because some of my favorite memories was because I care too much. It's because I romanticize ordinary moments. It's because I loved people. That is not a weakness. Maybe that is the way to become a human. And lately, I found myself missing the older version of me, the version that do not overanalyze and evaluate risk before making a decision, the version that could feel, could trust, could love an idea or a person without constantly thinking whether it is worth it or not. I don't think I will ever return to that state of me completely because pain changes us. Your experience shape who you are nowadays. But the point is not to go back to who you were. Maybe the goal is to remember what we have buried along the way, to reconnect with part of us that we have hidden in order to survive. And that's one of the reasons why I started this channel. It's not because I have answers or my thoughts are particularly more important, but because of after so many years of keeping so much thought inside my mind, I want to share that the connection begins when people stop acting certainty and actually admitting what's actually going on inside their mind. And this channel is my attempt to do so, to think out loud and to communicate with like-minded individuals, but also to know more about the perspective of other people as well. If you are someone like me, constantly overthinking and have more thoughts in your mind than actually talking to people, I hope you find something similar here. I'm Florin, a fourth-year dental student and also an artist in my free time. I will see you in the next one.